Shohei Ohtani, the most talked about athlete in North American sports at the moment due to his status as a free agent, and everyone wants to know where is he going to end up. Welcome to another episode of the J&J Sports Podcast. I'm your host Johnny, along with my co-host, the always wonderful Mr. Joe Montecavo. Now, Joe, as we record today, it is December 8th on a Friday, and we're hearing a decision might be made soon. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on this, right?
Yeah. John Morosi this morning, he reported that a deal is imminent. It could happen as soon as today. So whatever contract he signs, it's for sure going to be a record-breaking deal. It's going to be north of $500 million. I mean, I'm excited to see where he goes right now. I mean, we've never seen anyone like this. I mean, he's a modern-day Babe Ruth. But Babe Ruth played 100 years ago, and the game wasn't like today. I mean, what Ohtani did this past season at the plate and on the mound was just never seen before in MLB history. So, I mean, he ended up getting injured, unfortunately, in the end of August. He got surgery on his throwing elbow there in September. So he's not going to pitch this year in 2024. He's only going to be hitting as a DH. But again, in 2025, though, he will come back as on the mound, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, before his injury, the talk was, he'd probably get north of $500 million, maybe even $600 million. Then after the injury, when he was going to be able to pitch again, would he be the same pitcher? So then the speculation was, what is valued decrease a little. But I mean, from all indications right now, it looks like he's really set to break the record and get like a $600 million contract.
Yeah, it's quite incredible to say the least. Now, look, he came into the league. He broke into the league in 2018, signing with the Angels, right, for 6 years. He just completed arguably one of the best seasons in a single season, in MLB history, depending on your opinion. Now, as you said, coming off elbow surgery and not being able to play in 2024, still it hasn't stopped him as being the most sought-out free agent in MLB history, looking to get quite a lucrative deal, as you said, between 500 and 600 million. Really puts into perspective how poor the rest of us are. but look, we're just gonna put up a little list here of the biggest deals, biggest contracts in MLB history. At the top of that list, being Mike Trout, his teammate, right? 12 years, 426 million. Just under that, Mookie Betts, one of the best names in my opinion in not just MLB but in all the sports. I love his name. 12 years, 365. Under him, Aaron Judge, 9 years, 360. And as you guys can see, the list goes on. I won't go through every single one of them. But if the deal does go through, he'll definitely be at the top of that list by a wide margin, most definitely, right? Not only that, with his contract as well, putting him in the top tier of list of all athletes around the world, Joe, in the same breath as Lionel Messi, as Cristiano Ronaldo, probably just under them. He'll probably just be above Patrick Mahomes, who holds that third spot right now at 503 million. But it's quite crazy to say the least, right? Now, at the beginning of all this, of the whole scenario, right, there was a few teams in contention. Just to say some, there's the Giants, the Cubs, the Dodgers, and the Blue Jays. As the decision looms closer, looking more like the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Now, us, being Canadian, I would love to see him go to the Blue Jays. So if he does sign with the Blue Jays, what do you think he could bring to the team?
Yeah. So first of all, just in a competitive way in the division, I mean, the Yankees got way better. I mean, they just traded for Yan Soto from the Padres. The Orioles are up and coming. They won 100 games last year. They're young and exciting to watch. Somehow the Rays are there every year. They're winning 90 to 100 games and they're making the playoffs. Then, of course, you have the Boston Red Sox who are in the basement. And looks like they're going to be in the basement again this year. I mean, Chaim Bloom just took that franchise down to the ground. Luckily he's gone now. As a Red Sox fan, I'm happy to see him gone, but I don't see the Red Sox being in contention this year at all. No. So that leads us to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are going to probably lose Kevin Kiermaier in free agency this offseason. They're probably going to lose Matt Chapman and Brandon Belt, so they can really use a bat in the lineup. And what other bat to go get than the best one in the game, in my opinion, right now? And that's Shohei Ohtani, the most exciting player in the game. I mean, just in the country of Canada, I mean, he's just going to boost his stance and his status right now. I mean, the Blue Jays are Canada's team, so I mean, it's not going to be just in Toronto. He's going to be a national superstar over here.
Absolutely, well said, well said. I know you're wearing your Boston Red Sox cap, but you sound like a Blue Jays fan just there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you just want to look at the Blue Jays lineup with him, if they do end up signing him, I mean, it's going to be the top four is going to be a lethal top four. I mean, there probably won't be any lineup like this in MLB with George Springer leading the way. Then you got Bo Bichette, probably Shohei Ohtani in the third spot, and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. there in cleanup. And again, they're going to have a few spots they got to fill there in the outfield and at third base, and they're going to have to do that via free agency or via trade.
Yeah, hopefully they can address it sooner rather than later. Continuing with the Blue Jays, like they have been a competitive team for the past 3-4 years, but they're in desperate need of taking that next step, right? And as it stands, right, their franchise cornerbacks in Guerrero Jr. and as you said, Bo Bichette, 2 years left on their contract each. As it stands, no, not really in talks of any extensions. So
Yeah,
hopefully bringing in Otami, will change their minds. As you said as well, KMI is on his way out to free agency. Also, Belt, both left-handed batters, right? So they're in desperate need of one. So hopefully they can get Otami to boost to boost their stance on the left-hand side. Now, even if you do consider switch hitters, I still think they're pretty much trash on the left-hand side. So, like I said, hopefully they can get him. Also, their pitching rotation, the Blue Jays, I find it good. As you said that he's not going to play in 2024, right? He's probably not going to pitch. So I think their pitching rotation is good enough just to hold out until he can pitch again. So hopefully he does come here. I actually just saw about 20, 30 minutes ago that he flew over to Toronto.
yeah, I read that
Obviously,
also.
yeah, exactly. So hopefully it's a step in the right direction. Now,
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next year, though, if he signs in the year that he could pitch again. I mean, how the team's going to manage him? Because, I mean, wherever he signs with, it's probably going to be a 10, 12-year contract for, $550, $600 million. So, I mean, you don't want him to get injured right away again. So do you put him maybe in a 6-man rotation, or do you skip a start every now and then? Because I think in his first year back next year pitching on the mound, I don't think you want to make him go, 33, 34 starts and 200 innings. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in 2025.
yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, no matter where he goes, no matter who he signs with, they have to ease him into the game, right?
Yeah.
Now, the other team that we had that we did want to talk about, was the Dodgers. I know you have mixed feelings about this, Joe. How would you feel him going to the going to the Dodgers?
Well, unfortunately, like the Dodgers are a possibility. They're a big market team.
Yeah.
They attract a lot of stars. They're in contention every year. But I mean, personally, I'm not a Dodgers fan. I'm kind of tired of the Dodgers. I hated that they won the COVID year. But I mean, the Dodgers are a possibility. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, look, already having Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, 2 MVPs. Why not add a third one? And if they do,
That's Red Sox legend Mookie Betts.
Yeah, well, definitely put them over the top for sure, right? Also, I feel like the Dodgers, have been clearing out cap space to make a big move like this. And if anyone has the money to throw at Ohtani, it is them, right? When it comes down to it. Another reason that I think he's gonna be going to the Dodgers, and the same reason I think he did sign with the Angels, was that it's easier for Japanese fans to watch him overseas, right? Them being on the West Coast, it's easier for them to watch the night games, even easier to watch the day games. You know what I mean? So I think that does play a role. How big of a role? I don't know. We'll see where he signs at the end. If there's any cons signing, if there is any cons, signing to the Dodgers, I don't really see any. Do you? Other than you don't like them?
But I don't like him. I don't want to see him with the Dodgers. Yeah, it'd be nice to have him also in the East Coast.
Yeah,
we're in the East Coast, so we're biased there. But I mean, he was also with the Angels, so a lot of 10 o'clock starts our time. So yeah, it'd be nice to have him here. And
not a lot of fans out here get to see him play, right? So it would be nice to see him in the East. I mean, I'm hoping for him to come to the Blue Jays. We'll see what his decision is. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, so this whole saga can be over with. Now, when the decision is made, I'm sure we'll make a video on it. Whatever team he does sign with, we'll see how he can impact that team, right? There's been we saw today on Twitter, right, that they said the San Francisco Giants signed him, which was fake news. It was fake news.
Yeah, fake news. You have to watch what you follow on. Well, now it's called X, not Twitter. You have to follow.
Yeah, X. Sorry,
it's true. You're following and who you're getting your information from nowadays. Yeah,
exactly. So look, when the decision is made, we'll definitely make a video about that. Till then, guys, let us know in the comments where you think he's going to land up or where you think he should land up. And until then, have yourself a good night.